Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren, and welcome to Okay, But Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers Season 8, Episode 16, Are You There, Bob? It's Me, Birthday, and Episode 17, Boywatch. And we're going to start off with a synopsis for Episode 16, Are You There, Bob? It's Me, Birthday. Linda accidentally cuts Jean's hair in an awkward way when she remembers she forgot Bob's birthday. Meanwhile, downstairs, Bob is focused on an online auction for a vintage bacon weight he wants. Linda decides to try and throw a surprise party, but they have to find a way to get Bob out of the restaurant for a few hours. Enter Ron and Hugo. Linda convinces the health inspectors to take Bob with them so she can prepare for the party. Hugo agrees to help if Linda calls his parents to ask if he is still single. Bob tells Hugo he thinks they go around shutting down restaurants, so he takes him to a health inspection with them. Bob agrees to eat a wrap after watching the full inspection, no matter what. The health inspection ends up being horrible, and he gets very sick from eating the wrap at the end. Linda is unsuccessful to find guests for the surprise party and surprises him with a vintage bacon weight and the perfect birthday for him. And what did you get for the vacant storefront?
Damn, I wish I was your hoverboard.
I don't like when they're awkward like that.
Yeah, no, it's not my favorite.
But that was for Sophie B. Hawkins' song, Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover.
Mm.
And the
And then
pest control truck?
Don't tell mom the baby critter's dead. Pest control.
That's for the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And the burgers of the day.
I have two, I think.
Yes.
The Here I Am broccoli like a hurricane burger, I swear. Okay, I wrote down underneath this. Just broccoli like a hurricane is enough of a pun. You didn't need the Here I Am.
He did it anyways. It's Bob.
I'm aware, but like that's too much of the song lyric.
Because that's the Scorpion song, Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Exactly. It didn't need the beginning because there's no pun in the beginning. And the other one, I think I got this one written down correctly, is the older with experience burger comes with a fried egg on top.
The older with more experience burger. And it does have, it is an aged burger with an egg on top. It's not visibly, like it's not all there, so it's more presumed than anything.
I got most of it,
but
though.
Yeah, you got most of it. And I mean, I like an egg on a burger.
Yeah.
But it's kind of expensive to do that now.
Yeah, eggs are kind of expensive.
I used to just throw an egg on something and be good. Be like, oh, I could throw an egg in my ramen. Nope, not anymore. Which, okay, my coworker at work is a numbers person.
Mm-hmm.
And because I found out how much our vodka costs, and we also have a deal with our vodka, so I was like, we're stealing people blind with this vodka. Like it's bad. They're making so much, so he had to do the math. And so when I mentioned the 30,000 real eggs for Easter that Cheeto did,
yep,
he went down a rabbit hole.
He
even looked up the price of a dozen of eggs in DC, as well as trying to look at their taxes on their sales tax. Like. He was so mad.
I'm sure it makes sense. Well, this past for reference, I know you're hearing this in July, but we are recording this the day after Easter.
Yes.
But I bought egg beaters because that's what I prefer to eat more often than not. And I got the big carton. I think it was $8 for the big carton, which is the equivalent of 18 eggs. I want to say it was $2 more though than 6 eggs.
That's crazy. I bought just egg whites recently, just a carton of egg whites.
Yeah,
because my diet and everything. Oh God. Only for me to send you that picture yesterday, and it's just Bob saying his line from the egg hunt episode. It's just like, why are there eggs?
Why?
It's always eggs.
Why is it always eggs?
Did we speak the egg crisis into existence?
I think unfortunately it's like Beetlejuice. We said eggs too many times.
And here we are. All right. So Sam is played by Bobby Minahan, an actor and writer for SNL, If, Inside Out 2. The title is a reference for the 1970 book by Judy Blume, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Yep.
This is the second episode to focus on Bob's birthday. The last one was the Labyrinth.
Which actually comes out this week.
Yeah, it does. So both episodes aired within a week of each other in their respective broadcast seasons, strongly implying that Bob's birthday is within that week. April 29th, 2018 is when this came out.
Okay.
So literally next week is what would be most likely considered Bob's birthday. So we don't have an
Okay.
exact date, but we have a ballpark. Like, we know what week of the year Bob's birthday is. He was born in the spring.
Okay, then.
The auction website Bob looks at the vintage bacon weight is called eBuy, a reference to, of course, eBay.
Mm-hmm.
The establishment across the street from the Raptopia is called Good Morning Vietnamese Yoga Restaurants, a reference to Good Morning Vietnam. I don't know why it's all those things, but it is.
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
And then, of course, the DVD that Linda put on for Bob was Banjo, and that was referencing spaghetti western and meatballs.
Okay.
The cyclist who hits Jimmy Pesto is the same cyclist that Bob and Tina both encounter in Tina Witch. He again refers to whoever, regardless of gender, as ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably one of the best scenes ever.
Yeah.
Of Bob just standing in the window, be like, "I love this. This is the best birthday ever."
Mm-hmm.
And the Speedo guy says, "So glad Facebook reminded me it's your special day," while skating by the restaurant in Linda's flashback. This implies that Facebook exists in the Bob's Burgers universe, that Bob has a Facebook account, and that Bob and Speedo Guy are friends on Facebook.
I would believe that.
And of course, you heard that Hugo's name for his van is Health on Wheels, which is a reference to Hell on Wheels,
Yes.
which is a choice.
With its rusty wheel plugs.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines for me.
7.
Ooh, you go first.
Okay. Did you forget where you came from? You're from the streets, Mom. You're from the streets.
I can't walk around like this. This isn't me. I'm not an Icelandic punk rocker.
I also had that one. Everyone knows the Bubble Master doesn't work past noon. He doesn't need to.
Just to set up the best surprise ever. Like the end of that movie. 7?
Is that how 7 ended?
And what's in the box?
What's in the box? I'm gonna need some. All right, I'm gonna need something out of this too, like fries.
I don't know how you get through the day, Ron. What?
I love to plan parties. That's my thing. That and talking during movies.
Oh, go put a cannoli up your holy.
I have that one too. And I have one more. Fun chicken fact. How do you know that?
Get off the boobs, guys. I have one more since I apparently had a couple of yours.
Yeah.
I might have an alcoholic drink tonight. An alcoholic wine. Why is Hugo the worst?
Because he is.
Because
He just is. He just is.
Oh my goodness. But this episode, I really enjoy this episode. I think it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Linda completely crash out over forgetting Bob's birthday is so relatable because
Yeah.
I've never forgotten Steven's birthday. Thank goodness. Hopefully I never do.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even care if we celebrate or not. And I'm like, no, you're getting a celebration. It's going to happen. I don't care what I have to do.
Yeah. Now it's different, especially when someone grew up used to not celebrating their birthday. That it's less of a big deal, but like you want to make it a special day for him, which is very important. And but it also it makes sense that every once in a while, in however many years of marriage, that it may come a point where you forget, especially when you drink as much wine as Linda.
Yes. See, I don't do the drinking of the wine anymore, so I'm good.
You're killing your brain cells in other ways.
Yeah, existing.
And watching Once Upon a Time.
And watching Once Upon a Time.
Slowly killing your brain cells, one episode after another.
The amount of times that I just look at Steven and tell him, though, I'm like, Once Upon a Time is such a fever dream.
Well,
like, I don't know what I'm watching.
The episode that came out today was, did you know Bo Peep is an extortionist?
I know, I was listening to it when I was doing my notes. Oh my god, Bo Peep being a mob boss was not on my bingo list.
No, I don't think it was on anybody's, especially, except maybe the writers of Once Upon a Time. So I think that show enough is a mind-altering substance.
So, what did you think of this one?
It was pretty chaotic. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what we love, though.
It's good. It was good chaos. It was like it's Linda being like that immediately like loud crash out. That's the appropriate response for her for forgetting Bob's birthday. But I was glad Teddy was in another location, given the fact that he immediately just started screaming at his silent retreat.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
Like
in both
episodes, but this one specifically, like the amount of Teddy we had was just so Teddy.
Like they were like, we only have a tiny bit of Teddy this time, so let's really pack it in there.
Yeah,
on how he's gonna be full blown Teddy.
Like I feel like the times that I say that he's grown on me or that I have patience for him is when he's not being so Teddy, which I guess is not really a good thing. But it's I don't appreciate his character role in most things. It just gets to be too his given bit just gets too annoying some days.
Yeah, him being
But
the fourth child and
yeah,
all.
but I did like Bob's adventure with Hugo and Ron, because I like
I love it.
it makes a lot of sense, especially for Bob, because from his perspective, yeah, Hugo is abusing his power and and probably is just out to get Bob specifically. But oh boy, there was so much wrong with that restaurant.
I mean, down to like when he's like, "You haven't cleaned this rag," and he's just like, "Clean it."
You clean the rags?
What? And then like rat poop. I'm just like, we just
Oh,
flick it away.
that's what that is? It was
That
giving
just,
it was
oh.
giving kitchen nightmares.
But then like right there at the end when he's just like, fish is easy, right? I can do sushi. And I'm like, dear God, don't
Gonna
make
kill
sushi,
people.
please. You're going to kill
He
people.
figured he could just he had the name and that was it, because he was real good at finance, because no one checks finance.
Like, do you know how bad that had to have been? Because like Bob was sweating, so it wasn't just like a mental reaction.
No, that was like immediate. That was
That was immediate.
I've had food poisoning like that. It's not fun.
It's like it's like you ate it, you're done, and you're just like, oh nope, that's already your body is already rejecting it. Run.
Exactly. That was some real aggressive vomiting.
Real aggressive. And then by the end of it, he's just pouring sweat all over from how bad he feels. Because you do. When you have food poisoning, you end up not just, of course, the puking and everything else, you end up just sweating all of the toxins out of your body.
When it's that bad, you're leaking from every possible orifice.
Every single one. So like, but like I kind of appreciate Hugo doing that a little bit though. He's like, I know, yes, I have a personal vendetta against you.
Mm-hmm.
You stole my fiance, blah, blah, blah. I love that in this we find out they were only engaged for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even that long. But just the whole thing of like, no, like he did. I appreciate Hugo. I can't believe I say that for showing Bob, like, no, you're actually wrong. Like, I do a good job. I keep bad things. I just really hate you. And so I torture you.
Exactly. Like, yes, he has a personal vendetta against Bob, so he's going to be extra harsh. But in general, he's not bad at his job, which I think the health inspector is the one person you want to be good at their job.
Yeah. It makes me think of a Friends episode, though, because Phoebe ends up dating a health inspector and she gets really sick of going out on dates with him because everywhere they go that she really loves, he shuts down. So, like, I feel like there's good and bad sides of it because, like, some places you're just like, I know it's probably terrible, but it tastes so good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we all have a place that's kind of like that.
No, there's a place in I think they may have changed locations, but the place when we used to go in Chinatown, it was this little like tiny hole in the wall dumpling place. It probably like the kitchen itself may not have been much bigger than this closet that I'm recording in. And they had the best dumplings. You could go, you get them like, you get 6 for an order, get them steamed, you get a whole bag of them frozen, didn't matter. They were shut down by the health department because they were making the dumplings in the alley behind the restaurant.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, in saying that the kitchen was the size of this closet probably isn't inaccurate. And so we're all like, damn, it's a shame. Those dumplings were really good.
Exactly.
And like now, like we're not going, I think they have a new location somewhere else in Chinatown, but like the time is over. They were really good though. They're really good though.
I hate when that happens.
But Sam not really knowing to know what to do with the F. He's like, but people are going to see this. Like, yes.
That's the point.
That's the point, my dude. Like, I'd say in New York City, like, I mean, you see it regardless, because in New York City, regardless of what your rating is, it has to be posted. Most of the places we go tend to get a B. Like, you know that there's going to be
You kind of can't help a lot of things.
Yeah, especially
in tight spaces.
Yeah, with New York City size restaurants, things are just so small that like there's going to be something that's going to like not very few places get A's. But like B is still, good for service. I've eaten at places that get like a D. I think
I've gone as low as C. Knowledgeably, like sometimes people really do hide that. Like they try to hide it if they can. But no, I think C. I've done at least a C.
I didn't die when I ate the D. I did that on purpose.
I know you did.
That was from the lesbian.
From the lesbian.
That's why my D's artificial. Sorry.
I mean, I truly don't know what to say. What the fuck? Like, I think you've stumped me.
Yes.
How did you do that?
I live for these moments because
This is your payback for Snapchat.
Yes, because because again, like back to like the Once Upon a Time shit that I've been watching. Like literally, there's moments that are like that are like this with them. That they just say something and one of them just goes dead. And like it's just like I've been studying these moments, this dry humor moments. I got this.
It's also just our friendship.
Basically, yeah. Which is why, like I say, so many of the relationships on the show are us. Which is why
they truly are.
I have to get you through more of the show so you can appreciate these videos. Which is why I sent you Victoria's Secret wrapping Vanilla Ice.
What is the world gonna do when we end up in the same room together?
We'll find out in July.
It's gonna combust.
Which actually, yes, by the time this comes out, it'll only be a couple weeks.
Yeah. So keep an eye out, guys. I might actually get to meet Lauren.
Keep an eye out on Instagram. There may be photos.
Yes. Maybe. There will be.
We will
we'll have photographic proof.
Literally, we're gonna need you're just gonna give your husband your phone. Just record this moment for posterity.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sammy's not in the background. Like already filming.
It'll depend on where we end up meeting up.
Exactly. Oh goodness. But yeah, so Jimmy Pesto gets his comeuppance in this.
Yes.
Which is my favorite moment. Because I was like, the actor, like, Jimmy Pesto is very annoying until they change the actor. And then you kind of don't mind him as much.
Yeah.
Like, he's still a dick, but like.
I saw a video of that guy doing, it was a podcast he was doing. And he was talking about like how he has done this for so many other things. Like because he's the new voice of Jimmy Pesto. He's the current voice of like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. He does extra dubbing in for things for Puss in Boots for Antonio Banderas when he's not available.
I love that. Which means he's great at accents.
No, he's amazing. But like hearing him do the Jimmy Jr. voice, I'm like, or Jimmy Pesto voice, I was like, oh wow, it's not as annoying. I think it's just the person.
It's truly the person. Like even before I knew who the actor was and like as a person, even then I was just like, God, Jimmy Jr. I mean, Jimmy Pesto. We're always bitching about Jimmy Jr.
It's true.
It's a rare Jimmy Pesto sighting.
Unfortunately, that one is H. John Benjamin.
Unfortunately, we like H. John Benjamin.
We hate Jimmy Jr.
It's the same dichotomy of Robbie and
Bobby and Rumple.
Robbie. God, I'm tired.
We hate Rumpelstiltskin. We love Robert Carlyle.
We love Robert Carlyle, but like, it's so funny how that just continues to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, then you have David Herman who plays Frond. I mean, like, it's a lot of our favorite actors that we think are really awesome, and then they play these horrible characters, and you're like, I still like you, but this is the rare moment that we can like dislike the actor and the character at the same time.
Well, because I think it's a distinct difference of I think you can get a glean of what somebody is like through their performance, because we say this all the time. If we hate Rumpelstiltskin, but we love Robert Carlyle, we love the performance, which is why we hate the character.
Because it's such a good performance.
It's such a good performance, and like again, to hear everyone talk about him, he just seems like the nicest man in general, and the most generous actor. But Jimmy Jr., I mean, we hate Jimmy Jr. Jimmy Pesto. We hate the character, but I think it's because of the performance that we hate the character. And like, yes, he's good at his job, but he just seems like an asshole.
Honestly.
Because like, it's the same thing. There's no one on the other side. It's like, oh, he's actually a lovely, decent human being. No one has said that.
No one. But then you have this new guy that comes in and does a great job. And you're like, oh God, like I feel so different now. Even though you haven't made it to that, you just in passing have seen this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember when the transition happens because obviously we have a big gap without Jimmy Pesto in the show coming up. Yeah. like we have a nice big gap where he's not around for a while.
You don't say.
And it's kind of nice. You get a small break eventually. But I mean, there's plenty of other. I mean, you still have to keep dealing with Teddy. Teddy is like you said, their fourth child. He's never leaving.
But that's something like I've heard. But I like that voice actor because I hear him in the other characters that he plays as well. Like that voice actor does a really good job. There's a case of I just hate the way Teddy is written, but that's his chosen bit. That's what they have him there for. So
yeah, that's what he is.
It is what it is. Jimmy Pesto is just a dick, and I was with Bob. I'm like, yes, laugh at him in pain. Absolutely. Because
every time we turn around, Bob's being nice to him and helping him when he never deserves it.
Exactly.
Like, because moments like this, like laughing at him because of his birthday, but then Bob got the birthday he wanted. He got to watch his Western. He got the vintage bacon wait. You know, he got to watch
purchase.
Jimmy Pesto getting punched in the nuts. Like, I mean, that sounds like a great birthday. Apart from, like, for me, not the Western, but the rest of it sounds nice.
Yeah. The bacon wait is a very Bob purchase.
It is. There's another one that happens later on in a Christmas episode that you're just like, this is also very much a Bob gift idea. It's actually really cute that they kind of keep going with that on different things. And because it is like Bob, apart from his outdoorsy stuff, if he's going to get anything, it's going to be a kitchen gadget.
Yeah.
Like, he loves to cook. So that was really good. I loved Linda's reaction. The kids being themselves, like Tina's not really doing much with this episode. But of course you got Louise and Jean's poor hair, but Louise like, I can fix this, and then fills it in with marker.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
That's what a child would do.
Exactly. That's perfect. And that's the perfect response of, I will do this for the discounted rate of 8, but I don't have change, so I'll take this.
Yeah. So what did you rate this one? So
I gave plotting personal both 7s.
Oh, okay.
Overall, it was fine. I enjoyed the chaos. I enjoyed talking about it with you a lot more than I think I enjoyed watching it. It was fine. To me, it wasn't anything that really like it's the secret sauce of like when things I really enjoy them a lot. And it gets an 8 for character. Originally, it was 7s across the board, but because the final birthday surprise was nixing the party and just getting him and realizing that what Bob wants is not a surprise party, that got it an extra character point. So altogether, it gets a 22.
That's not too bad.
No, it's a decent score.
I gave plot 10. I actually really love this plot.
Fair.
I enjoy this plot every time I watch it, and we all know how many times I've watched this. And character and personal, I gave 9, so this is a 28.
Okay.
Because it's on that thing of like the characters are acting exactly as I expect them to.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And like this is so not to keep bringing in Once Upon a Time, but from the episode that came out today, the 402 one, we had 2 vastly different scores because you gave 402 I think a 30. And
I think I did.
I gave it something.
Bo Beep.
I know, and I gave it something else because I was more critical of it because I was like, it's like this is compared to everything else, it's kind of filler. And you're like, is my opinion wrong? I'm like, no, your opinion is your opinion. You're allowed to think something differently than me. That's how this works. Like as long as we agree that Peter Pan is the worst and Rumpelstiltskin needs to go away, we're fine.
Yeah,
those are the only objective opinions on this podcast.
Look, if you ever start telling me that like Jimmy Jr. is suddenly your favorite character, I'm just gonna be concerned for your mental health and come visit you. Like, be like, what's wrong?
How are you on too much or not enough of a certain medication?
Like, what's going on there? And not Jimmy Jr., specifically Pesto.
Yeah.
Or the other way around. I don't remember.
Either.
They're both
honestly,
horrible.
They're both the worst. So.
Well, now we're going to go into episode 17, Boywatch. The Belcher kids discover the junior lifeguards while walking by the beach. Tina seems to like all the physical contact within the group, but is told the session is full until Kelly sprains her ankle. Tina joins the junior lifeguards and she struggles to keep up with the rest of the group. The squad gets more and more frustrated with Tina as they have to do more work when she doesn't do well. Tina goes to quit the program but decides to try harder instead. She tries to prove herself by doing the open ocean rescue drill and instead gets the whole squad kicked out of the program. Tina notices the fun run and the sandcastle competition are going on at the same time and gets the junior lifeguards to help her save the runners' ankles from sandcastle holes. Meanwhile, customers ask for the restaurant's Wi-Fi password and more pack in for the free Wi-Fi. Sergeant Bosco joins the many customers while undercover to investigate a hacker that is in Bob's Burgers. Bosco catches the hacker, and the Belchers have to give up their router. That's all it seems normal.
Yeah, right.
All of it. What did you get for the vacant storefront?
The Family Jowls Cosmetic Surgery.
Oh, that's a play on the Family Jewels.
Yeah, I hate it.
I know. But pest control truck?
Big Little Flies Pest Control.
And that's a play on Big Little Lies. But we should have a very happy Lauren because burgers of the day. 1, 2.
I have 5, but one of them I didn't quite get.
Okay, but there are 5.
There are 5. So Portobello the Belt Burger.
Yep, a play on the boxing phrase below the belt.
Okay. Walk This Waioli Burger comes with wasabi aioli.
And that's for the Aerosmith song, Walk This Way.
The Shishito Burger, I didn't get what the pun was.
It is Shishito Corleone Burger. Comes with Shishito peppers, and it's a play on Vito Corleone from The Godfather.
Gotcha. That's a case of, since I watched this on my TV, it might have been easier to see on my computer. Quantum of Salsa Burger.
Comes with pote. That's for Quantum of Solace.
Yes. And the Gouda Wife Burger.
Comes with mature Gouda, and that's on the drama series The Good Wife. So they did a fun thing here. They chose a few different voice actors to come in for the kids. The one that hasn't played anything before and is only voicing a voice in Bob's Burger is Fred Savage. It plays Parker.
Okay, then.
And then, so Melissa Galsky, who mostly is Miss Jacobson, and Mara came in as Kelly.
Okay.
And then we have Natalie Palomides as Willow, who was also Kayla from Hurt Soccer, and then Rob Hubel as Zach. He's the park ranger as well.
Okay.
So they still, of course, they didn't use H. John Benjamin and David Herman, but they did pull from their other actors that they already used. So it's not like a special guest situation other than like Fred Savage, I guess.
Yeah.
Because this is the only character he ever voices in Bob's Burgers up until like that has come out to this day. No, he's Parker.
Okay, then.
This episode makes several references to Baywatch, including the title, the script cover, and characters named Michael and Parker appearing. Linda also calls Tina La Anderson in reference to CJ Parker's portrayal of Pamela Anderson. And the beach running scene both references Baywatch and Chariots of Fire, with the score containing elements from the theme music of both works.
Okay, then.
So they went beach heavy.
Yes.
The British baking show is a reference to the Great British Bake Off. The hacker's mugshot has the code 81A3827 on it. This code also appears on the mugshot of supernatural character Dean Winchester in the episode Folsom Prison Blues.
Okay, then.
And then lastly, Zach is reluctant to admit that it was definitely him who made the fun run clash with the sandcastle contest, but he can be heard both extending the fun run and moving the sandcastle contest in the 2 phone calls he takes while Tina is in the office waiting to quit. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines.
I think I have 5.
Okay, well, the first one I have is, the password is Dad's Bolt, all lowercase, one word.
Free Wi-Fi is this generation's free pens at the bank.
Yeah, some old guy made a Swiss roll that made me feel something for once.
You sink or swim or save sinking. Fuck. Oh, God. Say that again. Oh, my God. You sink or swim or save sinking swimmers as a squad.
It's weird that this is how they choose their prime minister.
I did that one, too. I don't want to live in a world where people don't look up and smile at me when I say hilarious stuff.
Oh, my God. So we're looking for someone with a lap.
Don't say sorry. Wow. Don't say sorry to... No, what am I? I can read my own notes. Don't say sorry to them. Say sorry to Stevie. He's dead.
Are you my mommy? Are you my mommy?
I'm out of lines.
Okay, I got 2 more. Maybe not. It's a little shrill. You let Mom talk. And then the last one, when she's talking to Sergeant Bosco, but you're sort of not that great cyber cop. Like, the lines are really good, but I can't help but love the can't breathe Stevie.
You can't breathe Stevie.
And that Sergeant Bosco's yes, it's a great name, but also Sergeant Bosco is just a terrible cop.
Well, yeah, so maybe don't put someone bad at tech in charge of a cyber crimes case. Like, I get, like,
as he's like wearing a t-shirt with police on the back,
and his badge is clearly, hanging out. I mean, to be fair though, the hacker was using the laptop titled "My Laptop."
It's at least get smart, people,
right? If you're gonna hack into things, but don't, because it's illegal. But
you shouldn't do that.
Don't hack. It's
no.
Just say no to hacking, friends.
We're so convincing.
Right?
Just like the Don't Do Drugs campaigns were convincing. Because I have some issues with whoever was in charge of my DARE program. Where are the random people offering me drugs?
Right? Like,
where are they?
I feel like, I think we've had this conversation before. The peer pressure that I was taught about in high school and in anywhere in school, was not the peer pressure that I experienced as a teen and an adult. Because I was told that people would just be offering me drugs. Drugs cost money. And you know what I did get peer pressured into? Starting a podcast.
Is that considered peer pressure?
I mean, not really, but still, like the peer pressure that like we experience is not exactly, do all of these drugs. It's more like, I don't know, play this game you don't feel like playing.
Download this random game that's just it's various types of potatoes that are killing aliens.
That was peer pressure.
That was peer pressure.
Absolutely peer pressure.
It's real Brotato, by the way, everybody.
The real danger of peer pressure is playing Brotato.
Oh my God.
But no, I feel like, honestly though, no, social, trying to be, socially appropriate and like polite is peer pressure.
It is.
Like, that's the real peer pressure of life, not people are going to randomly be offering you drugs.
I would like to switch, please.
Yeah.
I would like to go be, like, because I know that people make the jokes of, like, Karens and stuff, but I'm a bartender. I actively have to be mean sometimes. If you're going to be dumb, I have to be mean.
Exactly.
Because I'm sorry, asking for less ice does not mean you get more alcohol.
No. If you're gonna be stupid, you gotta
or
be
a bigger
tough.
cup, or a bigger cup.
The bigger cup thing, people expect that. I'm like, I don't understand why, especially when they say like, if they want more, I guess, brain work. My brain power is slowly dissolving. Like when they want more mixer, I'm like, so you're not gonna get a bigger glass.
Yeah. Oh, I went to pour a drink this past week working, and I didn't know the lady was right there. I learned real quick, but I looked at my server and she was like, yeah, she wants a single, but can you put it in one cup? And I was like, does this person understand they're going to get more mixer? And apparently the lady was right there. And she goes, yes, I want that. I was like, but you understand you're not getting more alcohol. She's like, yes, I do actually. I don't like the taste of alcohol, but I want my drink. And I'm like, cool. That's a great reason to say that.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
the people that are like, you're not going to give me more? No, I'm not going to give you more.
Yeah. Single in a tall glass means twice as much mixer and the same amount of alcohol.
Same amount of alcohol. You're still getting whatever ounce pour
exactly
that establishment has. But the Wi-Fi, like the whole Wi-Fi stuff, like it's fun. I enjoy it. It's just a little bit. It's chaos. It's chaos, but funny chaos. Yeah, so I enjoy that.
I'll admit, I enjoyed the Wi-Fi B plot more than the A plot that is Tina being a lifeguard.
I kind of liked Tina's storyline. I like all of it. I actually really enjoy this episode. And it's nice watching Tina's like still going through all her fantasies, but learned a lesson through it. Like she's still, of course, being like, but we're in a love triangle. And they're like, no, we're not, Tina.
I was waiting for her to drown. Or I was waiting for her to almost drown and need to be saved multiple times.
I was waiting for that too. But I did appreciate that she did grow during this. She did actually work really hard. And, she got to do sugar cookies, which I think is just the cutest freaking thing that they call it sugar cookies.
It makes sense.
It does.
I appreciate that she definitely she clearly became a stronger swimmer. And she's able to, I don't know, motivate the others to start doing things a little bit better, even though she spent the entire session doing things badly, kind of on purpose a little bit. So you and I have differing opinions on this episode.
I think even when you mess up, but you do grow, you've grown. You've had some growth. You've learned your lesson. So like, I think it's okay. I think it's because I homeschool. It's okay to mess up along the way as long as you figure your shit out, which is how I raise my kids. It's okay to mess up. That's why you try and try again until you get it figured out. And I think maybe that's what it is. It's mom brain just like into
that could be
everything.
Because like I'm working on like reparenting myself with like getting rid of my perfectionism through therapy and stuff like that. So there's that aspect.
Any tips for people like me? Don't perfectionism.
Still working on that. Still trying to find the root cause of it. So yeah, the thing about this episode that frustrated me is not the Tina. She's acting like a teenager. My thing generally is, I don't get mad at the child characters for acting appropriate to their age. Generally speaking,
I think it's harder for you too because like you never really had the boy crazy.
Yeah, I didn't have that aspect either.
You're a lesbian, like.
But also my experience with lifeguards and everything is through my brother was a lifeguard.
That checks out.
And swim instructor.
That makes complete sense from what I've learned.
So. Yeah, from what you've learned about my brother, it makes perfect sense. So
it makes perfect sense.
So knowing how these programs actually work, I think also annoyed me.
See, I don't know how those programs work. I live 3.5 hours from the closest beach.
Well, okay, he wasn't a lifeguard at a beach. At least it was a pool. It was like a school pool. It was like
you think that we have pools down here?
Well, the pool was.
It was a joke based off racism. I'm sorry.
Ours was. It was in our middle school. So I spent a lot of time in that really, really overheated, humid building.
No, a lot of our pools, especially in the South, were shut down. There's pools out there. There's still some public pools, mostly in family-wise, that you have to like pay a membership or pay a fee to get in.
Yeah.
But no, public pools are not common like they used to be.
No.
So for me, it's like we have a lake, but there's no lifeguards at the lake.
Yeah. Well,
that's a swim at your own risk.
My complex has a pool. It's right behind my building.
Nice.
But yeah, so I think our experiences are definitely,
very different,
and they're clouding how we're watching these episodes, which again is perfectly fine.
I don't think it's clouding. I think it's just that lens.
It's altering it.
It's altering, but not clouding. I think clouding would be more so of like it's getting in the way of.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
We've been talking for a while. My ability to make words is gone.
Usually you read the words, so
this is true. I normally read the words. I want to get back to having a script in front of me.
You're like, wait, I don't know what to say. I have to actually form cohesive thoughts.
I have to think on the fly again. When did that happen?
See, this is what happens when we take time off.
This exactly. We took not that you guys know, but we took a week off in between, which we needed. We definitely did. But
it was my anniversary.
Yes. So we needed the time. I'm out of the habit of thinking quickly and all that other fun stuff. And I got to
get you back on your toes. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, I think I got rid of. Wow. I think I hit my limit of quick thinking earlier.
Yeah, you did.
I think Eat the D definitely did it.
That time I God damn it. This episode.
Yeah, so lifeguards and cybercrime.
Lifeguards. I love that the guy like really did mess up though of like not moving. Like the sandcastle competition just should have been moved if he was extending the run, and like that just didn't happen. But imagine all those poor people though watching these weird kids run up in awkward swimsuits and just destroying their sandcastles.
Because sandcastles, especially the ones of those size, they take a long time to build. I watch people build them at the beach, and like they take a long time.
But like no one wanted to break any ankles. No one broke ankles.
No,
because that would have broken ankles. Like when you're running at that speed and you're getting near the finish line, that's not a sprained ankle. You're breaking something if you're running into those holes.
No, exactly. But also, I feel like the fun runners would have at least seen the sandcastles.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of like it was a hero move, but like also I think an unnecessary one.
Mm-hmm. Like, would they have paid enough attention to go around the holes? But I think it's more so of like ones you don't really see as much that are harder to see.
I suppose.
It's an interesting situation.
It's a very manufactured plot device.
I mean, she is 13.
She is 13, but still, like, I don't know.
You had to make the connection between, oh no, Kelly fell.
It's the foreshadowing.
And sprained her ankle to the fun run.
Yeah, it's a lot of foreshadowing because especially like with hearing him move the sandcastle building contest and extend the fun run, like I caught that. I'm like, oh, that's gonna cause issues.
Yeah, I'm glad that you did pick up on it though, because I didn't always. I like when I first watched. I don't think I picked up on that. I'm just like, it's an adult on a phone. She's having a conversation with Gus. Like,
well, when he said, "Yeah, we can add an extra K," I actually went back. I'm like, what did he say? I actually rewinded it.
You did?
No, because add another K. All I heard was add another K. I'm like, are we talking about money?
No, I mean, I've never heard of a 2K or a 3K. I'm gonna be honest though.
Well, so not. I mean, I wouldn't call them Ks because I think mileage wise. Hang on, what's Google? We haven't had a Yahoo.
Because a 5K is, I know, Yahoo. Because a 5K is only like 3 point something miles.
So a 5K is 3.1 miles. A 3K is 1.86, and 2 is 1.24. So like if they're off,
so essentially a mile run.
Essentially, well, because I was saying the event that I do in May, they run a bunch of different races all at once, being a marathon, a half marathon, a 10K, a 5K, and a mile fun run. Fun runs are usually about a mile.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But I can see the whole we'll add an extra K kind of thing. Like you can do races of any size because like with Run Disney events in the spring, they don't do a half marathon. They do a 5K, a 10K, and then a 10 miler.
Oh, okay.
I think because it's starting to get warmer and they don't want people out there that long.
Because, no, I completely understand that.
Because the springtime surprise one, I think was either end of March or beginning of April. Like that's why Run Disney in Florida is only is the January marathon event. February is the Princess Weekend. That's the one that just does. So January is the only time they do a marathon. That time they do a 5K, a 10K, a half, and a full marathon over the course of 4 days. Princess Weekend is a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon.
Goodness.
Then Springtime Surprise. None of these are at the same time. Not like the event that I do.
Okay, I was about to say, oh my goodness.
But then, so the Springtime Surprise, I think is April. That's the one that's a 5K, a 10K, and a 10 miler, which you can do any of the races as long as you sign up in time, basically. You don't have to do all of them. And then their only other race they do in Florida is the Wine and Dine, which is during the Food and Wine Festival, which is in November. That's a 5K, 10K, and a half marathon.
Okay, that's cool.
That one, my brother does that one. He does usually the 10K and the half marathon. He considers the 10K a warm-up.
Is he okay?
No. And like this is me as someone who runs 5Ks. Like his half marathon, he's like, half marathon is the longest he's willing to go. He's like 13.1 miles. After that, nope, no more.
I don't blame him.
Nope.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because New York's in a different month.
New York is November.
But like, I'd love to be able to run one day. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen. I'm still getting used to walking again. Like working out, not like actually just walking on my feet.
Yeah, you do enough of that.
I do enough of that. But yeah, I see once again we feel differently.
Yes.
And so, what did you rate this one?
I'm scared to give my score.
It's gonna be actually really funny. Don't worry.
I gave it 5s across the board. This is a 15.
Oh, that's hilarious because I gave it a 30 because I love this episode. That is hilarious.
That's actually really funny.
So that's why I was like, don't be worried. It'll just be funny because like I love this episode. I always enjoy this one. It's just I like this episode. It's funny to me. Like I love that you gave it a 15 though. That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, because for me the deciding factor on like I was like going back and forth as to how I wanted to score it, and basically it came down to I'm enjoying the B plot way more than the A plot. That's good. That's not good. So like
we've had this happen before though, where you just really didn't enjoy something, and I'm sitting here like it's my favorite.
Well, that's happened for both of us. Like there's been times where like it's like for both shows. So it's effective. We agree very often, but we also disagree, and that's the point.
And I like it. I like when we disagree. It's kind of fun.
I think it makes for a better podcast experience generally, because like that's again like the point of our podcast is you're hearing different perspectives.
It tests the friendship too, if you think about it. Like it truly does test the friendship when we don't agree on something. I've actually really loved, and like across the board with other things too. Like not that I have an example right on the top of my head because my brain, but we've had instances where it's just like we didn't agree on something, and like we discussed it, showed our proof, and it was just like, oh, cool, okay, now I'm more informed. And I love that we have that kind of friendship because a lot of people can't do that like we can.
Yeah, it's definitely it's hard to like, especially when you're first making friends, because you want to agree with them on a lot of things because you think like the second you disagree on things like, but sometimes it comes down to, because I was talking to somebody that I've met within the last couple of months and we were disagreeing on some things. I'm like, oh, it's because we are different people and have different desires out of places that we go to for these restaurants. Like we have different likes. It's okay to like different places because we clearly want a different experience out of where we're going. That's fine, but we overlap on this thing that we're going to. So like that's what matters. And like it's important to have friends that you disagree with on like small things like media and like TV and books and stuff like that. Maybe not
human rights.
Not human rights. That's a little different, but it's important to have friends that you can, very not casually, but that you can, I guess, very safely disagree with.
Because like nuance is needed.
Yeah.
And the internet is where nuance goes to die. So
yes, it is.
You need real people in your life that you don't always agree with. And I think that's lacking. But that's not what this podcast is about.
No. That's how you grow as people.
Yeah, other people can discuss that stuff. I'm gonna keep talking about Bob's Burgers and the fever dream that is Once Upon a Time.
It's the best.
It's the best, and I love it. And I can't believe because like it's already almost the end of April.
Well, it's almost by the end of April. By the time this comes out on the 14th. So actually,
we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary.
This comes out 2 years from like the week that we decided to start this. Oh, sorry, this isn't the 14th, is it?
No,
this is the 9th. This is the 9th.
The 9th, okay.
Next week, the next. So, our next movie actually comes out. Sorry, the 14th, which is the week of how we. Either way, we're close enough.
We're close enough. Like for everybody else, it's like, oh, our anniversary of starting is in like what, October?
November,
really? Oh my god. And then for us, we're like, it's July. Happy anniversary.
Well, the thing,
we can so many episodes.
But that's the thing is we can celebrate multiple anniversaries. We celebrate the anniversary of coming up with the podcast, starting recording, and then actually posting.
See, we're fun.
We're so fun. We created such a wonderful hobby for ourselves.
My husband loves it.
I'm sure.
Hi, babe. He listens to these now. I get so nervous sometimes.
He does listen to the Bob's ones. So yeah, you have to be careful what you say about him.
I gotta be careful. Love you.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 413, Unforgiven. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. Follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and Blue Sky. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, you can find the link with more details in our show notes.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.